XAUUSD, and that is the gold. And on the gold, what was our expectations yesterday? So we had a situation here, a very interesting situation here during the live session yesterday, where we were able to identify a structure where price action has been consolidating between the 1880 level, which is the resistance point for this week. That is the highest price, that's the highest point price action has ever been for this week. And then we also have the support level, which is the key level we identified on the daily time frame, which is serving as the support level for that channel. And in fact, to make things easier yesterday, I told you that are we going to be waiting for price action to break down the 1860 first of all before we join the bearish momentum? And in fact, if we are going to be waiting for that move to happen, that means we are going to be missing out from this 1500 pips move. So in order to catch this sell position very early, we were able to scale down to the 15 minutes time frame, where we identified this 1875 level, which has been holding selling pressure since the beginning of this week. As you can see, after the retest of the 1880 here, price action broke down the 1875, do some couple of retests of that structure to push price to the downside. And in fact, during the course of this early session today, we saw that price has come back into the 1875, resuming with another selling pressure around that area to further emphasize how sellers are strong at this level. So we have decided to sell below the 1875, which we already have a trade running at this point, though it's not that significant right now. The profit is just about, let's see, about 20 pips in profit at this point, which is not that significant. So we continue to look forward to see how price action will play out on this one. And during the live session yesterday, we identified this trend line, which appear to have been broken right now, and at this point I'm becoming very doubtful of the sell position that we are in right now. So we might see the sell position run through, and if it does, well, we are good to go as we look forward to adding more position right below the 1860 level to further join that decline to the downside. However, considering the bullish momentum we have been witnessing right above the 1860 since the beginning of this week, we might likely see a situation where price breaks out of the 1880 level. So if it so happens that price action breaks out of the 1880, we want to be getting ready for a counter trend opportunity with the hopes that we will continue to ride price action using the structures here as a yardstick for securing our positions, and at the same time looking out for opportunities to sell if price action forms a reversal pattern around that area. So we have the 1925 and the 1900 area where we might be seeing selling pressure if it so happens that price action breaks out of the 1880 level. So let's keep this in mind. While if we have a breakout of the 1880, let's keep this in mind as we continue to look out for selling opportunities around either the 1900 or the 1925. Now, talking about the importance of the 1860 here, which I said earlier, and for the sake of those who are not part of the live session yesterday, let's quickly run through the daily time frame so that you can see things more clearly and why we have decided to make that level a important structure to guide trading activity for this week. Now, going back into the daily time frame, this is what we have here on the daily time frame, and the first thing you would observe here in the last 3 to 4 months is the fact that price action has been bullish. And as a result of this, we were able to connect the series of higher lows here, which has given us this resultant bullish trend line. And in fact, since the beginning of the year, price action finally did a breakout of that significant supply zone, which has been holding selling pressure for over 6 months. We saw the breakout happen this year, at the breakout of the 1800 stroke the 1820 level, and since then price action has continued to find higher highs, breaking out structures like the 1860 level and the 1900 area. And in fact, as soon as price broke out of the 1900, we saw a situation where price was caught within a channel between the 1900 and the 1950 to emphasize the indecision in that market. And as you can see how the 1950 has been negating all bullish attempts at this point, and we were lucky enough to position ourselves in such a way that we could catch this move that moved price back into this 1860 level that was broken during the first week of the month of January. And one thing about that 1860 is the fact that it shares a beautiful confluence with that bullish trend line that has been holding bullish momentum in the last 4 months. And that bullish trend has been so strong that at no point in time price action has broken down that structure. At least this year it has not broken down that structure, and if it so happens that price action breaks down that structure this week, then it's going to be a huge move to the downside from that level. So you will agree with me that we are at a critical point in this market right now, as price action is currently trading right around the 1860 and the bullish trend line at this point, where the possibility of a bullish momentum is very likely, as price action could respect that bullish trend line one more time to incite another bullish move to the upside. And it could so happen that we could have a trend continuation pattern around here, which might likely lead to the breakdown of the 1860 to incite another wave of bearish momentum to the downside. So these are the things we are looking forward to for this week, and that is why we have that 1860, which is still serving as the support level for this week, as price is yet to break down that structure since the beginning of this week. So if we scale back down to our 1 hour time frame to look at what is really happening around there, this is what we were able to see, and we are still hoping that price action will break down that structure to give us a trend continuation pattern. So you can see we have this impulsive move to the downside since last week, and since price tested the 1860, we have seen a consolidation phase which appears to be transitioning into a trend continuation pattern, where a breakdown retest will be a beautiful opportunity to add more position and go full force on the XAUUSD for this week. So we are still anticipating that, and remember we have a macroeconomic event coming up today, which I told you is coming up in it's coming up in 5-6 hours from now. So we want to be seeing how the participants in this market will be anticipating this event, and we already seen that, as we can see this consolidation phase here in the last 24 hours. So a breakout of this consolidation phase will be a beautiful signal to give us an information of where price action will likely be going for today. So let's keep this in mind. Screenshot my screen so that you can use it as a reference point. So let me recap this again. We are looking for buy opportunity at the breakout of the 1880, and we are already in a sell position, which I told you, as long as price remain below the 1875, we continue to remain comfortable in our sell position, and a further breakdown of the 1860 will be a beautiful signal for us to add more position to our existing sell trade on the XAUUSD. If you have any questions, feel free to drop your inquiries in the comment section.